my relationship with my father, which was very complicated and difficult. My dad was a very I come from a middle class, kind of blue collar home, and my dad was just of that generation where it's just he was Clint Eastwood, less is more. Simple grunts is how he communicated.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, Hollywood's golden couple, adored by fans, envied by their peers, they projected an image of effortless perfection. But the fairy tale is over. Shocking news has just broken. Reynolds has filed for divorce, a scandal is erupting, whispers of betrayal and movie set drama are everywhere. What shattered this seemingly unbreakable Hollywood romance, and who will bear the brunt of the fallout?
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of pretends to play with her. So in the beginning, our oldest is loving on her, and she's very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
And I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. And there's one thing that I do need to say, which is I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. Those I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me that I get to work with Blake Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. I am totally fine with that. The only reason I didn't send it today was because I was trying to implement and add your notes into my working draft, which is already I'm all over that draft right now. So there's a whole bunch of new stars that are going to be collated pages. And I just haven't had a chance to send it to you.
For years, Ryan and Blake were the gold standard of Hollywood relationships. Couple goals splashed across magazines, their red carpet appearances were meticulously dissected for signs of affection, and their social media exchanges were legendary for their playful teasing and apparent genuine warmth. They built a brand around their seemingly effortless love, a refreshing contrast to the manufactured romances that often dominate celebrity headlines. But behind the curated Instagram posts and staged paparazzi shots, the reality was likely far more complex. Hollywood fairy tales rarely reflect real life, and even the most dazzling facades can crack under pressure. Those closest to the couple hinted at the strain of balancing demanding careers with a growing family, the constant scrutiny of the public eye, and the inevitable tensions that simmer beneath even the most playful surfaces. The cracks, it seems, were there all along, hidden beneath the dazzling veneer of couple goals. And the "It Ends With Us" movie set would become the stage where these hidden fractures would finally shatter their carefully constructed image.
A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
I for sure fell short, and you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I'm a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm gonna f*** up. I'm gonna say the wrong thing. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. I'm gonna piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize.
The seemingly perfect facade began to crumble publicly with the announcement of It Ends With Us, a highly anticipated film adaptation starring Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Excitement quickly morphed into controversy as reports emerged of a major clash on set. Suddenly, Blake Lively, the beloved actress and half of couple goals, was casting herself in a new role, victim. Explosive allegations surfaced, painting a picture of a creative battleground. Lively claimed she was sidelined by Baldoni, her director and co-star, her creative input ignored, her vision for the film dismissed. She asserted that Baldoni had pushed her aside, steamrolling her ideas and ultimately blaming her for unwelcome changes in tone and style that strayed from the novel's serious themes. Hollywood took notice. Many initially rallied behind Lively, seeing her as a powerful woman fighting for her artistic vision against a dominant male director. The narrative quickly became Blake versus Baldoni, a classic Hollywood power struggle with Lively seemingly positioned as the wronged party. But this was just the first act of the drama, and the narrative was about to take a shocking and unexpected turn. Just when Hollywood seemed ready to cast Justin Baldoni as the villain and Blake Lively as the wronged creative force, the narrative fractured. Baldoni, initially silent amidst the storm of accusations, began to push back. He didn't just deny Lively's claims, he presented receipts. Emails and text messages purportedly exchanged between Lively and Baldoni during production surfaced online. These weren't just vague denials, they were concrete pieces of digital communication that seemed to directly contradict Lively's accusations. In these messages, Lively appeared enthusiastic about the comedic elements and stylistic choices she was now publicly condemning. She even seemed to be suggesting some of those very elements. The carefully constructed image of Lively as the victim began to crack. Could it be that the truth was more complicated than she had presented? Whispers of doubt started to circulate, and then came the most damaging accusation of all, that Lively had not just misremembered or changed her mind, but had actively doctored evidence to support her claims. The idea was almost unbelievable. Blake Lively fabricate evidence, but the digital breadcrumbs were starting to paint a very different picture.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. That's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really reach in and touch somebody's heart. Hey, Blake. It is 2 in the morning. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes, but I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank, and I'm really sorry.
The digital breadcrumbs weren't just whispers, they were a deluge. Suddenly, screenshots of alleged email exchanges and text message threads flooded online forums and social media attributed to sources close to the It Ends With Us production. While their full authenticity couldn't be immediately verified by the public, they carried a weight of perceived credibility, especially as they seemed to align with Baldoni's defense. These receipts, as they quickly became known, painted a starkly different picture from Lively's initial accusations. Instead of a director steamrolling her creative vision, the messages suggested a collaborative process, with Lively actively participating in shaping the comedic tone and even contributing specific comedic ideas. More damagingly, some messages appeared to show Lively expressing enthusiasm for wardrobe and stylistic choices she later publicly criticized. The documents even hinted at a calculated strategy shift, suggesting Lively changed her tune after negative fan reactions surfaced online, and then allegedly attempted to retroactively blame Baldoni for decisions she had initially championed. These damning documents sent shockwaves through Hollywood and online fan communities alike. The narrative had flipped, and Blake Lively's credibility was now hanging by a thread.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. Like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list. I didn't have anyone on my list.
And it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, okay, think of someone. Think of someone. Bob Newhart. I don't know.
And find my way back to center. That is one thing I can assure you of. And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do better. That was not my best weekend, and I should have given it more time. And damn right, you got great friends if that's how you felt and they knew that. And we should all have friends like that, aside from the fact that they're 2 of the most creative people on the planet. The 3 of you guys together is unbelievable. Talk about energy and just a force, all 3 of you. But I just wanted you to know that I didn't need that, because it's really good and it's gonna make the movie sing like you said, and I'm excited to go through the whole movie with you. I'm just excited to spend time with you. I'm excited to be in your sphere and your presence, and for us to share creative juices together, although that sounds terrible. I think you and I have been trying to build a relationship, which I think we've done successfully. I mean, here we are.
As the digital storm raged and Blake Lively's carefully constructed narrative imploded, one man was watching from the sidelines with increasing turmoil: her husband, Ryan Reynolds. Initially, Reynolds had publicly offered a measured statement of support for Lively, a seemingly standard Hollywood move of backing his spouse. But behind closed doors, sources suggest the damning documents and the mounting evidence of possible fabrication were taking a heavy toll. A man known for his own brand of authenticity and humor, Reynolds reportedly grappled with the implications of the scandal. Was his wife, the woman he publicly championed, potentially involved in a campaign of deception that could damage another person's career? The whispers grew louder. Reynolds was reevaluating everything. Then came the bombshell. Fueled by what insiders described as an irrevocable breakdown of trust, Ryan Reynolds filed for divorce. The reason cited in leaked court documents? Irreconcilable differences directly linked to the revelations surrounding the "It Ends With Us" controversy. Hollywood gasped. The ultimate casualty of the movie set meltdown was not just a film's reputation, but a marriage once considered unbreakable. Betrayal, it seemed, had shattered even Hollywood's golden couple. The Reynolds-Lively divorce sent shockwaves far beyond their inner circle, rippling through the entire Hollywood ecosystem. Suddenly, careers were on the line. For Blake Lively, the meticulously crafted image of relatable glamour and authentic charm was now tarnished by accusations of deception and manipulation. Would fans still embrace her? Would studios still trust her? Whispers circulated about potential projects being put on hold, endorsements vanishing, and the once bright star facing a potentially devastating career downturn. Ryan Reynolds, while seemingly positioned as the wronged party in the divorce, also faced scrutiny. Would his decisive action be seen as principled and honest, or as cold and disloyal to his wife in a moment of crisis? Hollywood is a town of shifting alliances, and the public's perception can be fickle. Social media became a battleground, with fans and industry insiders taking sides, some fiercely defending Lively, others applauding Reynolds' stance. Cryptic social media posts from fellow celebrities added fuel to the fire, hinting at a silent division within Hollywood itself. The "It Ends With Us" scandal had become more than just a movie set drama. It was a litmus test, exposing the fault lines of loyalty, reputation, and accountability in the glittering yet often ruthless world of Hollywood.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
Talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And that, I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening. And all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together. And I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there. And it's been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met. And yeah, I think it does come from the both of us being hardworking and having a vision and not settling.
In the wreckage of the Reynolds-Lively marriage and the It Ends With Us scandal, one figure remains somewhat removed yet deeply entangled: Justin Baldoni. Initially caught in the crossfire of Lively's accusations, Baldoni found himself inadvertently at the center of a Hollywood earthquake that shook careers and shattered a marriage. While he publicly expressed regret for the personal turmoil, Baldoni also stood firm in defending his reputation and artistic vision. His steadfastness and the emergence of evidence supporting his claims ultimately shifted the narrative, but at a significant cost. The It Ends With Us project, meant to be a heartfelt adaptation of a beloved novel, is now overshadowed by real-life drama and legal battles, its fate uncertain. And perhaps that's the ultimate lesson of this Hollywood saga. Even in a world of carefully constructed illusions, the truth, when it emerges, can have devastating consequences. Ambition, reputation, and the pressure to maintain a perfect image can collide spectacularly, leaving broken relationships and tarnished careers in their wake. And sometimes the unintended victims are caught in the blast radius of a Hollywood fairy tale gone wrong.